Ngāhi nui, matariki hunga nui. Coming here this morning, this whole week we've been down at the Ātiarangi at the Star Compass with the Whitu Marama Light Show, and the family there taking whānau through, trying to, in a modern context, with all the fancy lights and wireless headsets, make it easy for the whānau to connect the dots between the whitu and the Taiao seasons, getting in touch with the environment. And we wake up this morning and we get a good reminder that who's in charge. So you had a little close call with our waka this morning. Got a bit of a bump on the nose, but we, I take from our speaker this morning, our keynote address about, the working together in the rangatira, weaving together the people with different skills and aptitudes for that strength and diversity, and coming from up north. Te Raroa, me o Pauri, te o Pauri, me Ngāti Kahu ki Whaingaro, ngā iwi. But I've been here for about 20 years, been missing. Much to the chagrin of my whānau back home, but anyhow, it's milk and honey here, right? Here tau ngā hauku nuis. So, when I look out here and I see the tempest out there, it's sort of, I actually enjoy it because it's a reminder to everyone to wake up. Ngā mihi, I feel very honoured here to be here today to talk to you at all. I've got a bit of a talk of a game of two halves. The first part is going to be about some of the work that we've been involved in over the last year. And then the second half really is looking to the future. We have a vision that we strive for at the iwi. It's a 25-year vision, and it's coming up for review in 2026. So a new one. So when that one was established in 2001, things were different then. Even just the climate. Cell phones were a new thing. So we're looking to revamp and refine some of those principles and some of the objectives, especially in the Taiao space, where we're my friend and I, we both got pretty flash haircuts because it's a stressful game, and we lose friends, marriages are on the rocks, and our body is like going, hang on a minute, and sometimes I think, it'd be nice to just go back up north and fish off the beach, live in Nahipara, but I'm a stubborn person as well, so that's why I'm here, and I want to see this rohe, Kahungunu, which is taking me on board, and my whānau, and as I say, it is the greatest part of the country in my opinion. So anyway, we'll who's our clicker? I'm looking for my clicker. Aye? Where is it? Okay, so why, what, and who and what? Why do we do research? Who do we do it with? And what do we do, right? So research gives us some understanding of how things work. Pretty simple, really. I guess we use things like heuristics. So it's trial and error type way of figuring things out. can use experiment, i.e. remove the observer from the situation and observe. Use the old iometer. In essence, we use a system, some sort of system. So mātauranga is one such system. At the iwi, obviously, of a master's degree in marine science, so know a little bit about removing the experimenter from that thing which he's trying to understand, or who's trying to understand. Whereas, mātauranga is not that way inclined at all. It's made up of sort of a core of inherited knowledge, mātauranga tuku iho, which can be unique to a place. And the ethics and values that go along with it are important as well. New knowledge, some of which could be Western science acquired. It's added to that, and our own personal discoveries. In essence, I guess our esteemed Tāhirini Moko Mead, how he put it, was mātauranga Māori is a cultural system of knowledge about everything that is important in the lives of the people that live there. So that's what we do in the Taiao unit. How do we know what sort of research to do? Well, we can go down here, literature review, we can identify knowledge gaps, stakeholder input, practical relevance, scientific or mātauranga Māori advances, you name it. That's a lot of work, and there's only two of us, so essentially for us, it boils down to the 3 R's. Relationship, relevance, and resource. We've talked about this here before, I think, but I just wanted to reiterate that because, you got to have the relationship, the trust with the people you're working with. You guys trust us to do the research, and we in turn trust people who we're working with, researchers, that they get it, that the study is designed, it's fit for purpose. Obviously, the relevancy is related to our vision, our 25-year vision, and that is spoken to us by you guys. And then, of course, resource, that's equity, essentially. And so I think Shelley sort of alluded to it in her talk. So it's essentially about the journey and the destination, right? Because research is both a noun and a verb. Personally, I like the journey, right? I like waka but it can be wiwawa, and when you get there, there's a lot of formalities sometimes, and that gets a bit. And so you're always amping to leave again when you're on the waka to get out on the sea. So the journey is equally as important, I think, as the destination. And in terms of research, just keeping that in mind, and understanding how to navigate this world as Māori and as Kahungunu. So, this 25-year vision, this has been our guiding light. It's due for review, as I said. Through dedicated research over the years, we've developed these objectives and implemented strategies that align with our cultural values and drive us toward achieving our vision of environmental resilience and sustainability. And here, I guess now we're going to use this talk really as an opportunity to test it out when you guys come together, listen, share. That's what the Fishhawk Summit's all about, and redefine our path in a way that honours our traditions and embraces innovative approach to kaitiakitanga. So today we're just firstly going to delve into 3 significant research projects that we've been involved in over the past year. Projects are at the forefront of understanding the impacts of Cyclone Gabrielle on our terrestrial and marine environments, how river engineering affects the unseen subsurface part of the awa, and how we might improve the management of our awa to better provide for us during both times of drought and flood. So, First up, we're going to talk about cyclone impacts on Tangaroa. So last year we heard from Dr. Joshu Mountjoy, he's in the audience here from Niwa. Kia ora Joshu. So the stuff that I'm talking about is actually research that his team led, and we are basically the translators for their type of research to you guys and how it fits into our vision. And then we use that information to keep people accountable who need to be kept accountable, or just reminding them of the stick, if you like. Thanks, Mike. So Niwa did 2 research voyages after the cyclone. As you recall, last year there were some preliminary findings presented. And so we're just going to roughly, briefly go through some of those findings. So that's a picture from the Wairoa Hard, taken by Regional Council, our mate Shane there, he's left now, gone to Canterbury. But, folios, algae, encrusting invertebrates, cobbles, really a biodiversity hotspot. So when there are massive amounts of sediment, obviously were transported into Te Mata o Maui. And this has devastating effect, particularly here in the Wairoa Hard. Kelp and sponges from the survey were almost completely absent after the cyclone compared to what it looked like before. The poster down the back there gives all the facts and figures, but essentially the thickness of mud in that area is about 5 centimetres. But the shallow nature of our bay, which is essentially a large estuary, means that it's prone to large swell events which resuspend the sediment. So you get a bit of a false floor and no light can penetrate. It's really tough to live in an environment where it's just smoke all the time. So the other key finding, I think, was the fact that a large percentage of the sediment, we know where it came from, and it actually came from the Mohaka River. So as Josh pointed out in his poster, it was pumping from the Mohaka. And so all the samples that they collected around here, you'll see a huge proportion of silt can be traced back to the Mohaka. And Mohaka's there's got a lot of bush on the Mohaka, and so it is when rivers are pumping, it's the stream bank erosion quite often which contributes. Under typical flows, it's about 60% of the sediment coming into the bay is from stream bank erosion, so stuff falling in on the sides. The other interesting finding was that despite the impact of the cyclone, after 8 months, they found that the little small animals that live in the mud out in the bay here, the infauna, they started to come back. Right, there was quite a recovery. So they're quite short-lived, reasonably, and so that's the stuff that the fish feed on when they're feeding. So that was a good thing. So it seems that Tangaroa does have a huge capacity to recover, in quite a short space of time. However, I'll quote this rather dry passage from the report. Declines in epifaunal biogenic structure forming invertebrates were not substantial, most likely because the pre-cyclone model state suggests the region is already impacted by decades of fishing and sediment stresses. In other words, the seafloor ecosystem in Te Matau, Maui was already highly degraded, and so adding a lot of mud to the bottom really didn't have much effect at all. So I guess that's the destination, right, for us, which is pretty sobering, really. On the plus side, here's the journey, right, the whānau here. And so that's the relationship that we have with Niwa now. And, I reiterate Katarina's karanga tarei for niwa, come, to idol. So yeah, we look forward to many more interactions with our science partners. Next, the next thing I was going to talk about was this subsurface processing braided rivers, which again, last year we had a talk from Dr. Scott Wilson from Lincoln Agritech. He's the leader of that research, and he spoke about the preliminary findings from the first 3 years of this study, which includes the Ngariroro, between Te Pōpō, Roy's Hill and Omahu in the recharge zone. So thanks also to Scott and his team. So they've got a poster down the back also detailing the findings, and I encourage you all to go and have a look at those posters, take a picture of it. So this project aimed to understand how river and aquifer are connected and to quantify that connection. Scott and his team discovered an intermediary water storage structure between the river and the regional aquifer called the Braid Plain Aquifer, and you can see it here. It's a bit in the post-glacial gravels. It's kind of like a sponge, if you like. It holds, a sponge of gravels holds the water, which then drips down into the regional aquifer, which everyone's got their straws in and pumps it out for irrigation. So essentially, the findings were that, if you narrow the river, or, you take out gravel through gravel extraction, the sponge volume reduces, so the capacity for that to hold water and drip down and recharge the aquifer decreases. And in this case, they had an estimate of about 4 cubic meters per second. That's the loss from the river to the Braid Plain Aquifer. Under typical flows of at Fernhill Recorder Station. So it's slightly less than what Regional Council thought, which actually you scale that up, it can have large ramifications for allocation. And if we look at where it goes, so 2 cumecs roughly from Te Pōpō, which is just in the bottom corner here, to Ngāpuke, it's that promontory on the true left. 2 cumecs come straight towards Flaxmere, if you like. Kia ora. And then the other 2 is after Ngāpuke. Some of it comes this way towards Twaiford, and actually some of it goes under Omahu. So this is probably where you get your water from, in your wells there. So the model that they developed also estimated groundwater recharges decreased by about 700 litres a second since 1977 due to river narrowing and bed decline. They've also been able to reconstruct groundwater levels at substation well 10371, which is obviously by the substation. And so by modelling the river at its pre-engineered width and elevation. So doing this completely removes the downward trend, over time in their model, their numerical model. They remove that, and which essentially means that, river narrowing and more profoundly the long-term decline in river bed gravels, i.e. gravel extraction. So there's an element of increased annual groundwater fluctuation as well, and Mike suggested in his talk. The highest is every year, it's higher and higher. It's the same with groundwater. Every year it's getting, the peak is, it drops to the lowest point, and then next year it recharges, but a lot drops again. So it's sort of, we're always chasing our tail. There's also increased annual, so that fluctuation is a hydraulic response to river narrowing, bed decline, and scouring at the active Braid Plain margin. So when you do get a big flood, it will scour out an area of the Braid Plain, which reduces the ability for that water to be lost over the, it's basically surface area to volume ratio. But wait, there's more. So they because most of us find it hard to change the way we do things if it doesn't stack up economically. An integrated economic assessment was also conducted. Economic modelling of a number of scenarios was performed, including market and non-market valuations, of river widening and raising or lowering bed levels, i.e. gravel extraction. The results from that modelling suggest the Ngariroro and the other river in the study, the Waiau and Marlborough, river widening scenarios was the most economically rational river management approach for Ngāwa, returning positive net benefits, both environmental and market. So, i.e., why don't we widen the river? You know, essentially, if we widen the river, you can gravel extractors, rather than taking it from the active bed, they can take it from the berm. You might need to purchase a bit of land, perhaps make some stop banks a little higher here and there, but it's in targeted areas of the river that have been given over to private interests in the past through, you know, it's an unintended consequence of us thinking we get that water out as fast as possible. I'm talking about Marae Kākaho in particular, where there's a quarry application there under the COVID-19 fast track. We've got that coming up for expert caucusing next week. So the results also suggest, therefore, the Ngariroro bed raising scenarios, i.e. reducing gravel extraction in that area and, you know, increasing the volume of the Braid Plain aquifer. We also expected to have positive environmental benefits, and which would be expected to offset the market costs in the Ngariroro. So I think we can all agree that the destination this research arrived at will have far-reaching consequences. So Scott gave this talk to the Regional Council Committee the other week, and yeah, there was quite a few furrowed brows and jaws dropping, and a little bit of, you know, scepticism. That's all right, cool. So where to from here? You know, mana awa, mana whenua, mana tangata is a Kahungunu Taiao unit led project to explore options for improving river management in a way that better aligns with Ngāti Kahungunu worldviews and tikanga. This research seeks to understand what improved river management can do for our people in a way that uplifts the physical and spiritual health of Ngāti Kahungunu people, enables and empowers whakapapa connections, and fulfills kaitiaki obligations. So we're seeing giving Yawa more room in certain places not only enhances the mana of the river and us, it makes economic sense. That little video there from before, I don't know if we can go back. Yeah, that's what happened in Awatoto, you know, avoiding that sort of thing. Or at least learning the lesson and not just plugging the hole and going back to how we were. So in collaboration with our science partners NIWA, again, we got this, we're going to do this. And we've got a wānanga coming up next week at Omahu. So, you know, if you're keen, get in quick because places are going fast. There'll be no beef cheeks there though. So if you whakapapa to the Ngariroro or the Tuki Tuki Awa, that wānanga is just after this one. Flick us an email and we'll put you in touch and we'll get you registered and come along. You know, essentially we want those people who have something to add, who have the ability to communicate, and, you know, they have a strong sense of how they think the river might be better managed. So yeah, come and see us. Okay, so the second half now, which we've got this Slido, we've been using it all day. And someone try something a little bit different. So anyone who's been using this, or you haven't, whip out your phones now, scan that QR code. We're going to do it in real time. Right, so a few people have had, yep, oh, there we go, have had a go at this throughout the day. So the first one here, which of the following objectives should be our top priority for the next 25 years, right? So up the top there says how many people have, what did they say? Four, only 4 people. So we need a bit more engagement than that. All right. So I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to do it. These questions actually are also going to be up. If you go to the Slido app on the side, there's the hard questions questionnaire. You'll be able to go there after the talk if you need a bit more than 15 seconds to make up your mind. So, there you go, you can see it changing in real time. And then you feel free, if none of these tickle your fancy, then tell me in person. All right, next one. So, Smotua Robert there, from when the Kahungunu was returned to its original path back in, 2018? Yeah. Glorious day. That's bringing the mana back, right? Okay, next one. How important? Oh, pretty much. Oh, one person thought it was only just important and not very important. Where is that person? Get him out. All right, you don't need too much time for that one. Okay, the next one. Okay, primary focus. Here we go. We got an awa there down in Central Hawke's Bay. The Porongaho stream runs along the boundary of the Silverfern Farms, and it's got heaps of green filamentous algae. There's lots of nutrients in there. Beautiful stock. Get in there and clean it all out occasionally, along with the bugs. So get used to that. If there's a big dam put in Central Hawke's Bay, even more of it. Okay, next. Prioritise actions to manage water and land use for aquatic ecosystem health. So a few options there. So just give it your best one, what you want. That little stream there is in the Raupare. I think, who was it? Mare had a picture of this beautiful puna that's just around the corner here. Used to be Johnny Bostock's orchard. Ngahiwi is the one. And he wanted to fill that in, and we stopped him. He wasn't too happy. I think he tried to get us fired, oh. Okay, so this is a one-worder. Traditional practices and customs to revive and better manage our waterways and resources. And our waterways, I'm talking the coast as well. These fellas here, I'm going to be generous and say they're doing translocation. Now, nearly there, whānau. Rāhui, kāpai, mahinga kai. Oh yeah, some trends popping out there. Nice. Yeah, up in far north, we got tohiro. Maybe that's what they got there. I hear there's some tohiro down Porongaho and Pukenui Beach and Mahanga. Translocation, key. Thinning out too, just like the apple trees, thin out those beds. Okay, whānau, before I chew up too much more time, we've got a little, here's the last one, sorry. Bird's eye view from the top part of the Whanganui Orotu. Channelized up the top there. No fresh water coming in, so it's mawiwi up the top there. But we're working with Taiwhenua Whanganui Orotu so we've developed a monitoring program based around Mahinga Kai. It's one of their sites up the top end here by the pump station. So pump stations that the regional council operates, the drainage schemes, right? They've never had any resource consents in the whole RMA history. And they're coming to us now to get consents and make them compliant. I'm saying in the top part of the estuary there should be some more fresh water diverted into the top part there for flushing. Okay, whānau. Now, we've got a little quiz here. Person who give me the right answer gets a prize. So the question is, Kaifia, this moana, where's this roto, and what are they actually collecting there? Hold, hands up. Not you. Kao. Yeah? No pippies? There was a talk about it earlier on today. Aye. Yes, so it's a coda. They're fishing for coda. And anyone have any idea where this Kao? Aye, it's in Kahungunu. Ki te tonga. Aye, Wairarapa Moana. 1921. This is a whānau here teaching the Pākehās here how to do it. And they're using the, does anyone remember the bundle of bracken fern? That's a whakawehu, or whakaweku down south. And the bonus question is he's got a little grappling hook there which he uses to pull the thing in there. That's called a maro. Now all these terms, I don't know what they mean or where they come from, but I'm interested. And so for me, that's part of that, us re-establishing that connection, mana to that water, connecting through kai. So I think we had someone over here. Yep, that person there. Yep, she certainly got the freshwater crayfish, and then over here was Wairarapa Moana. Over here somewhere. Yeah. Ka pai. Well, that's my talk. Kia ora whānau.